Welcome to another daily readings. This is the daily reading for yesterday. This is Genesis 10 and Matthew 10. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. Yah is the Elohim of the heavens and the earth, the first and the last and the only. And he's an extremely jealous El. He's so jealous that he doesn't even want the names of idols or mighty ones to come to our lips. And Yah is short for YahWeh, Yahweh, Yod-He, Vav-He. It's like saying Dan, Daniel, Daniel with an E. What is the difference and does matters when people say that Phil, Bob, Sam, and Aaron are the same name when no they're not, and no one in their right mind would ever believe that, and only a fool would believe that a hammer can force its creator to do anything. And there was no letter J in the Hebrew, Greek, or Aramaic text because the letter J is about 600 years old, while the son of Elohim, Yahoshua Messiah, sweat blood and was brutally murdered and resurrected on a stake for the sins of all of humanity over 2,000 years ago. And a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Yeshua, which is short for Yahoshua, is Joshua, and Yahshua, which is short for Yahoshua, literally a single letter, means Yah is salvation. So when the word says, like the either Yahshua or Jesus, and it says he will save, means he will save us from our sins, you know that Jesus is Greek for Hail Zeus, and which is Isus, Asus, literally 4 different deities combined, including Zeus, so it's a pathetic excuse. What a joke. Only a non-believer would jump on saying that that's okay, without any research whatsoever. Actions speak louder than words. And just because you're in ignorance doesn't mean what I'm mainly targeting believers. That's why I say things like that. For non-believers that hear that, it might sound like I'm being really aggressive, but these are people who are supposed to know the word, right? Non-believer, these people are supposed to know the word. They're supposed to read it for themselves and understand it, which is why I sound so rude, because how is it that you can read a book 1,000 times and just listen to one single verse? You're a fool. Literally. Not you, unbeliever. You don't know anything about this, right? So I wouldn't expect you to know, which is why I wouldn't treat you with such aggression, unlike a believer who, or someone who claims to be a believer who's actually a fakey flake. I will show them more aggression than I would show a non-believer, guaranteed. Because non-believers don't know. It's ignorance rather than arrogance that I'm dealing with. When I'm dealing with arrogance, trust me, man, I will show you arrogance. But when I'm talking and those people are just completely ignorant, then I know not to be. I know that this is their first time, and I shouldn't treat it like they know everything. Unlike the believer who's supposed to know everything. He's supposed to know the word. He's supposed to stand by the word, prove the word. That's what the word says. The word says, prove me. How are you supposed to prove me if you never research it? All those people who research the word are no longer Christians. They're Messianics. They're Messianics. They're not Christians anymore because they know that Christianity is a lie. The perfect counterfeit, if you will. Yahshua is the Messiah, not Jesus. Jesus is Greek for Hail Zeus. It is a joke. People who use that and demand that be his name, you are not a believer. You're not. Now that it's arrogance, trust me, you're not a believer. You're a fakey flake. My people will no longer call upon the name of Baal God. What do you think that means? Look it up. Research it for yourself. Genesis 10. And this is the genealogy of the sons of Noah, Noah with a dot, and in English there's no dot underneath the H. That is the only difference. Shem, S-H-E with a half a check mark M, Ham, H with a dot A-M, and Japheth, Y-A-P-H-E-T-H, which can also be spelled Yefeth, Y-E-P-H-E-T-H, same name, same person. Just spelled with an A and spelled with an E. Yah and Yeh. And sons were born to them after the flood. And by the way, it specifies that Japheth is also Japheth, not, oh, well, Yeshua is Yahshua. No, it's not. Nor is it specified as such either. Unlike this, where it specifies that Japheth can also be spelled Japheth. And he goes by both names. So he personally goes by both Japheth and Japheth. But Yahshua does not go by Yeshua. Okay? Major difference. He has one name. Japheth clearly has 2. But Yahshua only has one name. And the word says that over 8,000 times. You cannot tell me it's not true. One name. And look, it says it right there. Okay, the next paragraph down, there's his name spelled with an E instead of an A. Unlike Yahshua, which gets spelled the same every single time. Because his name matters. And Japheth's and sons were born to them after the flood, the sons of Japheth, Yepheteth, Gomer, Gomer, and Magog, Mag with a line on top of it, Og with a line on top of it, and Madai, Mad with a line underneath of it, Ai, and Yawan, Yawan, and Tubal, Tub with a line underneath of it, Al, and Meshech, Meshek with a line underneath of it, and Tiras, Tiras, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Ashkenaz, and Riphath, Riphath, and Togarma, Tog with a line on top of it, Armah, and the sons of Yawan, Elisha, Elishah, and Tarshish, Tarshish, Kittim, Kittim, and Dodanim, Dod with a line underneath of it, Anim. From these the coastland peoples of the nations were separated into their lands, everyone according to his language, according to their clans, into their nations. And the sons of Ham, Cush, Kush, and Mitzrayim, Mitsraim, which is Egypt, and Put, Put, and Canaan, Kena, An. And the sons of Cush, Seba, Seb with a line underneath of it, A, and Hawilah, H with a dot, Awilah, and Sabta, Sab with a line underneath of it, Tah, and Ramah, Ramah, and Sabteca, Sab with a line underneath of it, Tek with a line underneath of it, A, and the sons of Ramah, Sheba, Sheb with a line underneath of it, A, and Dedan, Ded with a line underneath of it, An, and Cush brought forth Nimrod, Nimrod with a line underneath of it. He began to be a mighty one on the earth. He was a mighty hunter before Yahweh, therefore it is said, like Nimrod, the mighty hunter before Yahweh, and the beginning of his reign was Babel, Bab with a line underneath of it, El, and Erech, Rek with a line underneath of it, and Akkad, Akkad with a line underneath of it, and Kalna, Kalne with a half a check mark, H, in the land of Shinar, Shin'. From that land he went to Ashur, Ashshur, and built Nineveh, Ninewe with a half a check mark, H, and Rehoboth, Reh with a dot, Ob with a line underneath of it, Oth, Rehoboth, Ir, and Kêlah is Kelah with a dot, and Rezin, Resen, between Nineveh and Kêlah, the great city, and Mitzrayim brought forth Ludim, Lud with a line underneath of it, Im, and Anamim, Anamim, and Lahabim, Lehab with a line underneath of it, Im, and Nephtuhim, Naphtu with a, Naphtuh with a dot, Im, and Pathrusim, Patrusim, and Kaslahim, Kasluh with a dot, Im, from whom came the Philistines, Philistines, and Caphtorim, Kaphtorim, and Canaan brought forth Sidon, Tsid with a line underneath of it, On, his firstborn, and Heth, H with a dot, E with a half a check mark, Th, and the Ubisite, YEB with a line underneath of it, USITE, and the Amorite, AMORITE, and the Girgashite, GIRGASHITE, and the Hiwite, H with a dot, IWWITE, and the Arkite, ARQITE, and the Sinite, SINITE, and the Arwadite, ARWAD with a line underneath of it, ITE, and the Semirite, TSEMARITE, and the Hamathite, H with a dot, AMATHITE, and afterward the clans of the Canaanites, KENA''ANITES, were spread abroad. So they all had their slightly different version of Hebrew. But Hebrew was the very first language. Not only that, but all the taught ones were Hebrews, who taught Hebrew, who spoke Hebrew, who wrote in Hebrew. Just saying, Hebrew. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon as you go toward Gerar, Gerar, as far as Azza, Azzah, as you go toward Sodom, Sed with a line underneath of it, Om, and Amorah, Amorah, and Admah, Ad with a line underneath of it, Mah, and Seboim, Tseb with a line underneath of it, Oyim, as far as Lasha, Lasha. These were the sons of Ham according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, in their nations, and also to Shem, the father of all the children of Eber, E with a half a check mark, B with a line underneath of it, ER, the brother of Japheth, the elder. Children, fancy English, children were born. I mean, I hope they were children. What else would they be? Adults? Fancy English on children, as if people wouldn't understand what that would mean, that the children were born to people. I don't know. I don't know what people were mistaken by that. The sons of Shem, Eliam, E with a half a check mark, YLAM, and Asher, Asshur, ASSHUR, and Aparkshad, ARPAK with a line underneath of it, SHAD with a line underneath of it, and Lud, LUD with a line underneath of it, and Aram, ARAM, and the sons of Aram, Uts, UTS, and Hull, H with a dot, UL, and Gether, GETHER, and Mash, MASH, and Arpakshad brought forth Shelah, SHELAH with a dot, and Shelah brought forth Eber, and to Eber were born two sons, and the name of one was Peleg, PELEG with a line underneath of it, for in his days the earth was divided, and his brother's name was Yoktan, YOQTAN, and Yoktan brought forth Almadad, ALMOD with a line underneath of it, AD with a line underneath of it, and Shelef, SHELEPH, and Hatzarmaweth, H with a dot, ATSARMAWETH, and Ura, YERAH with a dot, and Hadoram, HAD with a line underneath of it, ORAM, and Uzal, UZAL, and Dikla, DIQLAH, and Obal, AB with a line underneath of it, AL, and Abimael, IB with a line underneath of it, IMA apostrophe E with a half a check mark, L, and Sheba, and Ophir, OPHIR, and Hawilah, and Yobab, YOB with a line underneath of it, AB with a line underneath of it. All these were sons of Yoktan, and their dwelling place was from Mesha, ME with a half a check mark, YSHA, as you go toward Sephar, SEPHAR, a mountain of the east. I don't know why my brain is stuck on saying west. It says east. There's no A in west either. A mountain of the east. These were the sons of Shem according to their clans, according to their languages, in their lands, according to their nations. These were the clans of the sons of Noah according to their generations, in their nations, and from these the nations were divided on the earth after the flood. Hallelujah. Matthew 10, and having called his 12 taught ones near, he gave them authority over unclean spirits to cast them out and to heal every disease and every bodily weakness. And these are the names of the 12 emissaries. First, Shimon, Shimon, who is called Kêpha, Ke with a half a check mark, Pha, and Andre, his brother. Andre is Andri, his brother. Jacob, which is James, Ya'Aqob with a line underneath of it. The son, fancy English, son of Zabdi. I don't think Zabdi has any daughters, but I don't know. Zabdi, Zab with a line underneath of it, Dai, and Yohanan, which is John, Yoh with a dot, An, his brother. Philip, Philip, and Bartholomew, Bartholomi, Toma, T'Oma, and Matthew, which is Matthew, Mattithyahu, the tax collector, Jacob, the son of Alphai, Alphai, and Labai, Lab, with a line underneath of it, Ai, whose last name was Taddai, Taddai, Shimon the Canaanite, and Yehuda, Yehud, with a line underneath of it, from Querioth, Qeriot, who did also deliver him up. Shimon the Canaanite and Yehuda from Querioth, who did also deliver him up. So Yehuda from Querioth was the one who delivered up Yahoshua Messiah. Yahshua Messiah, Yahoshua. Not Yeshua or Yahoshua. Yahshua sent these 12 out, having commanded them, saying, Do not go into the way of the nations. Do not go into the way of the nations, and do not enter a city of the Shomeronim, Shomeronim, but rather go to the lost sheep of the house of Yisrael, Yisra, with a half a check mark, L. That's what they were called to do while Yahshua was alive, was to go to the 12 tribes and convince them to turn back to Yah, because if they don't, the Passover lamb is coming, and it'll be a feast for everyone else who wants to join instead. Which is what it is now. But they were telling them, like, repent, this is happening. It doesn't matter what you say, this is happening. And as you go, proclaim, saying, The reign of the heavens has drawn near. Heal the sick, cleanse the lepers, raise the dead, cast out demons. You have received without paying, give without being paid. Do not acquire gold or silver or copper for your money belts. Fancy English, money belts. Oh, money is the only thing in fancy English. Or a bag for the journey, or 2 undergarments, or sandals, or staffs. For the worker is worthy of his food. And into whatever city or village you enter, ask who is worthy in it, and stay there until you leave. And as you enter into a house, greet it, and if the house is worthy, let your peace come upon it. But if it is not worthy, let your peace return to you, and whoever does not receive you nor hear your words, then when you leave that house or city, shake off the dust from your feet. Truly I say to you, it shall be more bearable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city. See, I send you out as sheep in the midst of wolves. Therefore be wise as serpents and innocent as doves. Therefore be wise, be cautious, crafty, shrewd, as serpents, and innocent as doves. But beware of men, for they shall deliver you up to Sanhedrins, Sanhedrins, and flog you in their congregations, and you shall be brought before governors and sovereigns for my sake, as a witness to them and to the nations. But when they deliver you up, do not worry about how or what you should speak, for it shall be given to you in that hour what you shall speak. For it is not you who speak, but the Spirit of your Father speaking in you. And brother shall deliver up brother to death, and a father his child. And children shall rise up against parents, and shall put them to death. And you shall be hated by all for my name's sake, but he who shall have endured to the end shall be saved. And when they persecute you in this city, flee to another, for truly I say to you, you shall by no means have gone through the cities of Israel before the Son of Adam comes. Adam, A-D with a line underneath of it, A-M. The Son of Adam comes. A taught one is not above his teacher, nor a servant above his master. It is enough for the taught one to become like his teacher, and a servant like his master. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebul, B-E-L-Z-E-B-U-L, how much more those of his household? Therefore do not fear them, for whatever is covered shall be revealed, and whatever is hidden shall be made known. What I say to you in the dark, speak in the light, and what you hear in the ear, proclaim on the housetops. And do not fear those who kill the body, but are unable to kill the being, but rather fear him who is able to destroy both being and body in Gehinnom. G-E with a half a check mark, capital H-I-N-N-O-M, which is the lake of fire. Sulfur and fire. Are not 2 sparrows sold for a copper coin, and not one of them falls to the ground without your Father? And even the hairs of your head are all numbered. So do not fear, you are worth more than many sparrows. Everyone, therefore, who shall confess me before men, him I shall also confess before my Father who is in the heavens. But whoever shall deny me before men, I shall also deny before my Father who is in the heavens. Do not think that I have come to bring peace on the earth. I did not come to bring peace, but a sword. For I have come to bring division, a man against his father, a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's enemies are those of his own household. He who loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he who loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he who does not take up his stake and follow after me is not worthy of me. He who has found his life shall lose it, and he that has lost his life for my sake shall find it. He who receives you receives me, and he who receives me receives him who sent me. He who receives a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward, and he who receives a righteous one in the name of a righteous one shall receive a righteous one's reward. And whoever gives one of these little ones a cup of cold water, fancy English water, only in the name of a taught one, truly I say to you, he shall by no means lose his reward. So, denying him. Who's him? But that one name, Yahushua. Who is Yahushua? Yahushua is the Messiah. Messiah is not his last name. It is a title for him. Yahushua is the Messiah. And refusing to call upon his name, refusing to acknowledge his name, not names, but name, Yahushua. It is not that hard to say, and if you have to say it in your own language, then I'm sorry, but you're probably just another fakey flake. If it has to be said in your exact language and you can't say it in another language, then trust me, you're a fakey flake. Get out while you still can. Don't be lukewarm. Yah talks about those who are lukewarm. They will be vomited out of his mouth, for they are disgusting taste. If you don't want to follow something because you don't agree with it, because you don't want to research for yourself, boo-hoo. Boo-hoo. I don't care. Neither does YahWeh. You either follow him or you don't follow him. There is no middle ground. But like he says about lukewarms, there is no middle ground. You will be vomited out of his mouth, for you are a disgusting taste. A filthy, foul taste. Blah. You really want to be blah? I don't want to be blah. I'll tell you that much for a fact. I want to try. I want to do my best. I want to know that I pushed myself to the limits and not just tried half-heartedly like most people do nowadays. To be honest, I haven't met a single believer in this city that actually stands with Yah and actually stands with his Torah and will actually stand with the name of the Son and the name of the Father and not with Baal God, Hail Zeus, Christos garbage. It is garbage. I don't care what you say. Research it for yourself. It is garbage. Garbage. Trash. Burn it. You want to be a preacher of Baal God? Don't worry. Yahweh says his people will no longer call upon the name of Baal God. So don't worry. Your time is coming. You can either choose to research it for yourself, acknowledge that there was a mistake made, change from that, or follow through with what you're doing. And you've been warned and you're ignoring it. So that's your own fault.